Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled among rolling green hills, lived a mother pig with her 3 adorable little sons. As they grew older and bigger, she knew the day would come when they'd have to go out into the world and build their own homes. One sunny morning, she gathered them close, gave them each a warm hug and a little sack of snacks, and said, "My dear boys, it's time for you to seek your fortunes. Go and build the best houses you can, but always remember to be wise and hardworking. And whatever you do, watch out for the big bad wolf." The 3 little pigs waved goodbye to their mother and set off on their adventure. They walked and walked, full of excitement and dreams for their new lives. Soon they arrived at a crossroads, and it was time to part ways. The first little pig was a bit lazy. He didn't want to spend too much time or effort on building his house. He just wanted to finish quickly so he could play. As he trotted along, he met a farmer carrying a big bundle of straw. "Excuse me, sir," said the first little pig. "Could you please spare some of that straw so I can build a house?" The farmer kindly agreed, and the pig was delighted. In no time at all, he had built a small house made entirely of straw. It wasn't very strong, but he didn't care. He danced around his new home, singing, "I built my house of straw, I built my house of hay. I'll toot my flute and don't give a hoot and play the rest of the day." Meanwhile, the second little pig, who was also not a fan of hard work, walked a little further down the road. He soon came across a man gathering a big pile of sticks. Sticks look a bit stronger than straw," he thought, "and it still won't take too long to build." So he politely asked the man, "Pardon me, could I have some of those sticks to build a house?" The man gave him a large bundle, and the second pig got to work. He hammered and tied the sticks together, and soon he had a house of his own. It was a little sturdier than the straw house, but still quite wobbly. Proud of his work, he sang, "My house is made of sticks. It was so quick and slick. Now I have time for fun and tricks." Now, the third little pig was different. He remembered his mother's words about being wise and hardworking. He knew that a strong house was the most important thing. He walked past the fields of straw and the piles of sticks, continuing his journey until he found a man with a cart full of heavy red bricks. "This is it," he thought. "This is what I need to build a truly safe home." He went up to the man and said, "Sir, would you be willing to sell me some of those bricks? I want to build a strong house that will last." The man agreed, and the third little pig began his long and difficult task. He mixed mortar, laid each brick carefully, and worked tirelessly from sunrise to sunset. His brothers came by to laugh at him. "Why are you working so hard?" they teased. "Come and play with us." But the third pig just shook his head and kept on building. "I'll play when my work is done and my house is safe and strong," he replied. Finally, after days of hard labor, his beautiful, sturdy brick house was complete, with a strong oak door and a big fireplace. He sighed with relief, knowing he was safe. The very next day, the big bad wolf came prowling through the woods. He was hungry, and the smell of little pigs filled the air. He soon spotted the first little pig's house of straw. He crept up to the door and knocked. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in his deepest voice. The first little pig peeked through a crack, saw the wolf's big teeth, and squealed in terror. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," the wolf just laughed. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." And with one mighty puff, he blew the flimsy straw house to pieces. The terrified little pig ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house of sticks. He burst through the door, shouting, the wolf is coming." Just then they heard a loud knock. Little pigs, let me come in." The two brothers huddled together and cried, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf grinned. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." He took a deep breath and huffed, and he puffed, and the stick house began to creak and sway. With one more powerful puff, it collapsed into a pile of twigs. The two little pigs screamed and ran for their lives, not stopping until they reached their brother's house of bricks. They scrambled inside just as the wolf arrived, panting and angrier than ever. "Quick, lock the door," shouted the third pig. Thump, thump. The wolf pounded on the strong oak door. Little pigs, let me come in." The third pig, feeling very safe, called out boldly, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf was furious. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." He huffed and he puffed. He puffed and he huffed. He blew so hard his face turned blue, but the brick house didn't move an inch. Not a single brick even wiggled. The wolf was exhausted, but he was also cunning. He decided to try and trick the little pig. "Little pig," he said in a friendly voice, "I know where there's a field of delicious turnips. If you meet me tomorrow morning at 6, we can go together." The clever pig replied, "Okay," but he woke up at 5, went to the field, gathered the turnips, and was back home cooking them for breakfast long before the wolf arrived. When the wolf came by at 6 and found the pig was already back, he was very annoyed. He tried again. "Little pig, I know of an apple tree down in Marigardu. Let's meet there tomorrow at 5 o'clock." The pig agreed, but went at 4 o'clock instead. This time, however, the wolf came early too. The pig was high up in the apple tree when he saw the wolf approaching. "Are they nice apples?" The wolf called up, trying to hide his grin. "Yes, very," said the quick-thinking pig. "Here, I'll throw one down for you." And he threw an apple so far away that, while the wolf was chasing it, the pig jumped down from the tree and ran safely back into his brick house. The wolf was now in a rage. He had been outsmarted twice. He looked at the brick house and saw the chimney. "Aha," he thought. "I'll climb onto the roof, slide down the chimney, and catch that little pig for my dinner." He scrambled up the side of the house and onto the roof, but the third little pig heard the scratching of his paws. He knew exactly what the wolf was planning. Thinking fast, he put a huge pot of water on the fire and made it boil. Just as the wolf squeezed himself down the chimney, the pig took off the lid. Splash! The wolf fell right into the pot of boiling water. With a yelp of pain, he shot back up the chimney and ran away into the forest, never to be seen again. The three little pigs lived together happily ever after in the strong brick house. The first two pigs learned a very important lesson that day. Whatever you do, do it with all your might. Hard work and dedication always pay off in the end. And from that day forward, they never cut corners again. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales. See you next time.